Hey guys, Calvin here with Tradesman Business Academy, and I've got a question for you. If you're thinking about starting a business, handyman or contractor, what's better? Let's dive in, guys. So, all of you know, if you've been following this channel, and if you haven't, I am a general contractor, but I specifically do pool contracting. I build custom pools, outdoor living, outdoor kitchens, pretty much your whole total backyard experience. But a lot of people I know who are trying to start businesses are torn between, do they want to be a handyman and do little odd jobs for people, because obviously there is a need for that, or they just want to be straight up a contractor and chase the big dogs and go for the bigger money, and they don't really know what's the best way to go. So let's talk about what is being a handyman. I'm gonna put handyman on this side. So if you're a handyman, what do? You go around and you do small installs, typically small repairs, maybe a little painting. You do a little bit of everything. So I want to talk about my thoughts on why maybe the handyman route may not be the best route to go. Not saying it can't be profitable. There's a ton of people doing it, making money. But if you're new to business and you're not established, and this is kind of a new endeavor for you, you may want to consider these options or consider these pitfalls that you can fall into as being a handyman. Number one, logistics. I'm spelling this right, guys. Logistics means, your invoicing, your follow-up emails, all the things that go around business aside from doing the work itself. Collecting payments, paying bills. So the more customers you have, the more logistics you're going to have to do. The more invoices you're going to have to send out, the more money you're going to have to collect. And eventually, organized people and the company that does it the right way can get organized and make this work like a well-oiled machine. But at the beginning, you're going to be so busy trying to build your customer base up, which is another tough one. When as being a handyman, you need a lot more customers. But the logistics side of it, and just taking phone calls from customers. Maybe you installed a dishwasher, and the dishwasher's having issues, or maybe you installed anything and it has some sort of issues. So you got callbacks. You got all these things you're gonna have to deal with because, and I'm not saying there's no pitfalls to contractors. We're gonna go over that next, but you have 50 customers a week potentially, depending on how packed you do your schedule. That's just a lot of things that can go wrong during that. So, number two, I'll just put scheduling. If you get behind on your schedule, your phone will literally ring off the hook unless you have some kind of system in place or somebody taking care of phone calls for you, where you could literally text or call or email people to let them know that the schedule's changed. But it's very easy as a handyman for one problem to snowball, and all of a sudden your whole day's ruined because maybe somebody has an emergency situation that they got to get taken care of, and you have 5 things or 5 jobs on your schedule that day, and job number 2 is in dire need of whatever, and you have to go run around and find a part or something like that, and all of a sudden those other 3 jobs get pushed. Again, not saying that schedule doesn't have issues sometimes with contracting. It does. But again, if you have 50 clients on the docket for that week, opposed to a lot less as a contractor with bigger ticket items. So that leads me to number 3. Number 3 is small tickets. That means basically the average cost of the job may be, less than $1,000 or $300 or $400, to do each job. But overall, it can be profitable because you can do, 5, 8 jobs, depending on how good you are and how big the jobs are per day. So true, you can make money, but you're going to be putting in a lot more hours potentially, and you're going to have to do a lot of, again, logistics and scheduling and all that stuff. It just, unless if you're trying to start out on your own and be a one-man show for now until you can grow, it's just going to be a lot more work. And again, can be done, and if you're a very organized person and you know what you're doing, you can definitely make this work. And there's people out there doing it. There's guys on YouTube that make videos about how to do it, right? But those are the main three things that I say that make it tough to be a handyman, starting out, right? So let's talk about contractors. Let me just line come all the way down here. So, number one, I'm going to put less logistics. You're going to almost have more incoming leads and be doing more bids and estimates and things like that than you are going to be dealing with invoicing and stuff like that. It may only take you, 10 customers a month to make the same thing it would take you 70 or 80 customers or small jobs here. Maybe if you have 50 jobs that pay $500, or you could have 5 jobs that pay, $100,000 here. Average ticket is 20 grand. And as long as you're doing your margin right, you should be able to still, have the same kind of profit on either one of these businesses. But yeah, less logistics. You got to send invoices, especially if you're doing draw schedules and things like that, which I highly suggest if you are doing, being a contractor, to collect money up front. Anything, any job period, you need to collect money up front. Handyman, you're basically going to collect your pay or collect your ticket at the job site. But that means you have to have a system to have the invoice in hand. If you're doing time and material, you're going to have to sit there and make sure you write it up, or have some kind of system to give them a bill right then and there, because you don't really want to leave that house without a paycheck, especially residential, because it can get a little touchy there. Some people, most people are trustworthy, but there's some that are not. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you can get burned, right? Number two, let me check my notes, guys. Okay, number two, same thing. Scheduling, just like on the other side, right? But it's a lot easier to schedule when you've got, 5, 6 jobs going on at a time, or even 10 jobs going on at a time, when you're not having to be the one that actually goes out there and physically does all the work. You may do certain aspects of it that is your forte, but you're not going to be the one going out there and building the whole thing by yourself. It's a patio cover, or an outdoor kitchen, or a kitchen remodel inside the house, or a bathroom remodel, or a roof. You're going to have a crew that's going to go out there and do it, or you have multiple crews. I suggest have, whatever you do. Like me, I'm outdoor living. I've got multiple crews that can, frame patios, roofing, electricians, even plumbers. Like, I have multiple of each, and I know who's good. I've vetted all of them. I've worked with them for years, and I've built up a relationship with these guys. So I can literally have I've had up to 10, 12 jobs one at a time with very minimal issues, because in a situation like that, when you have jobs staggered, it's really easy to, I won't say easy, but it's a lot easier to manage than it is to manage 50 customers in a week. So consider that. And number 3, we already touched on. You're going to have high ticket jobs, right? So if you have, and our goal here at the Tradesman Business Academy is to get you to $1 million business. $1 million business, you need to make, let's just for math's sake, you need to make $85,000 per month in revenue. That's how you make $1 million a year in your business. That's the number of sales you have to make each month. That's your revenue. And hopefully you're making close, as close to 50% profit margin as you can, but as long as you're making at least, north of 30 would be like your minimum you'd ever want to touch. But if you're in that 40, 50% range, you're going to be making good money. But $85,000 on a $500 ticket, I don't know what the math is on it, but it's probably somewhere, 160 jobs or something like that, just rough math. Whereas if you're selling a $20,000 job here on average, you need 4 or 5 jobs and you're there. So that's how I look at it. Sure, your day-to-day is going to be managing subcontractors, talking to customers, doing estimates. But when you get good subs like we have, we don't have to babysit. We go, we get them lined up, get the job started, talk about any of the important or different things that are out of the ordinary of what we normally do. But we don't have to sit on the job with them all day. We can come and check in as we need it, or do the walkthroughs with the homeowner. It's not like they have to be babysitted totally. Now, as a contractor, you don't want to be invisible. You do want to be on that job and make sure things are getting done, especially if you're doing some kind of wall framing and they're fixing to do sheetrock. You need to make sure that it's ready to be enclosed. You need to make sure like that underground's ready to be covered or whatever. Like, you have to know where your contractors or subcontractors are with the job and where the job is. You can't just like trust your subs. Hey, just call them. Hey, you go there, you go there, you go there. Especially the first day of the job, you have to get them lined up, and then definitely want to make sure you want your subs to know that you pop in a lot. That'll make sure they're working more, and I've caught lazy subs and I've fired subs for sitting around the job in the middle of the day. I'm not talking about a break, but like customers telling me, hey, these guys sat around for an hour and a half, and they should have been working, and it doesn't do anything but make you look bad, if you got bad subs. So, and there's going to be a little bit of the weeding out bad subcontractors at the beginning, because maybe you don't have all the subs lined up right now. But I actually did a video, if you check the channel, on how to hire subcontractors and find subcontractors. So in my opinion, from a lifestyle standpoint and from a financial standpoint, the contractor way, to me, has always been better. And I feel like that if you're starting out, that's good. If you already have a handyman business and you're not already burnt out, then maybe, hey, go for it. But doing the handyman business just a little bit the wrong way will cause huge burnout. You'll be working all the time. Your mind is constantly thinking about work. Your phone will never stop ringing. Whereas a contractor, you don't have to answer the phone at 9 o'clock at night because there's a fire in the kitchen because the dishwasher or disposal blew up. Typically here, you may have the call, you can set up, you can manage your time a little bit better. Like I said, I have the 6 o'clock rule. I've mentioned this in other videos. Unless it's on fire, an emergency, it can wait until the next morning, and my customers know that. I communicate that to them. But at the end of the day, guys, we all have families. We all want to do, we don't all want to live to work. We want to work so we can live. So it's about more than just what we do and for a profession, right? It's about spending time with our loved ones. Sorry to sound sappy, guys, but it's the truth. But, spending time with our loved ones, our family, our kids, or parents, whatever. Like, we don't want to constantly be thinking about work and burning out. So I feel like a contractor can definitely achieve that lifestyle a lot easier or quicker than the handyman can. And I'm not bashing any handyman. I have absolute respect for anybody who does handyman work. Like again, I said, there's very successful guys that do it on YouTube and put videos about it and stuff like that. And if you feel like you really want to be a handyman, I suggest go follow those guys, right? And no offense to anybody. So, but anyways, that's my take on it. I'd say contractor wins in my book. Handyman, I'll give you second place. I'm not gonna say you lost, you got second. So, all right, guys, that's it for this video, and we hope to catch you down the road. Again, like our channel, subscribe to the page, or subscribe to the channel, like the video. I said that all backwards, but you know what I meant. There's some kind of little thing you hit like on it or whatever, and you start getting other videos we give. Maybe hit the little bell thing. We'll put a link to our calendar if you guys want to talk to us. We do free assessments on businesses, whether it's a handyman business or if you're thinking about being a contractor, or if you are a contractor. 2 things we do: help people start businesses, tradesmen and contractors, and help people in the trades and in the contractor business grow their business and scale and reach that full success that they want to get to. So anyways, take care, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.